Williams from Georgia.
Thank you, Ranking Member Jayapal, for holding this shadow hearing on immigration detention. And thank you to the witnesses who've joined us to share your lived experiences. And I, Miss Pierre, as a mama, as a wife, my heart breaks for you as a Georgian, because I am trying to figure out what can we do to fix this problem other than we need a new president. But I am Congresswoman Nikema Williams, and I represent Atlanta, the fighting 5th Congressional District, where we fight for the civil and human rights of all people. That includes immigrants and detainees. And I wrote a letter on October 9th to Secretary Noam demanding answers about the conditions of the Atlanta ICE field office and my oversight responsibilities as a member of Congress. Deplorable conditions at the Atlanta office mean that people being detained are forced to stay in cramped, unsafe, and unhygienic conditions. This field office is cramped into a basement, was not meant for long-term detainees, and it doesn't have beds, showers, or space for the detained to meet with counsel. Prior to a June memo, U.S. Customs and Immigration Services guidelines said that people shouldn't even be held there for longer than 12 hours. Well, there was a memo that came out in June that changed all of that. But even prior to that, in the first 6 months of the Trump administration, over 1,200 people were forced to stay at least 24 hours in these poor conditions. More than 300 people were detained in the field office between 3 and 5 days. More than a dozen people spent over a week there, with 4 spending over a month at this holding facility. And according to the AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, an immigration attorney said that her client, who is a nursing mother, spent 9 days sleeping on the floor at this Atlanta field office in a holding room. 9 days. It's unconscionable that immigrants, human beings in my community or any community across the country are forced to stay in such conditions. In my oversight letter, I asked a series of probing questions to get answers and to force this administration to improve conditions in this facility and follow existing regulations. In addition to information about this reported overcrowding, I'm seeking information about whether people being detained are being fed and offered medical care in a timely manner, whether they can speak freely with counsel, and the conditions of children, pregnant women, and seniors in detention. The Department of Homeland Security, to nobody's surprise, has not responded to these questions and has not even acknowledged my request to come and do a visit. Ms. Owens, as an immigration attorney practicing in Atlanta and my constituent, how do the conditions that I've described at the Atlanta field office, I know we've been talking about the Stewart Detention Center, but specifically this field office, how does what I describe comport with your clients' experiences that you've seen there?
Thank you, Congresswoman. That is exactly the location of the individual I first mentioned who slept for several days on the floor right next to a toilet with 16 other people in the room, including a minor. It's a small holding cell. This is not a place with beds. This is not a place with showers. This is not a place with a telephone to even contact an attorney. And I understand they're trying to keep this off the books and off site, and they do not want you guys to go and see this. And that must change. That simply must change, because a lot is happening in the dark. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Boyd, what particular quality metric should members of Congress who are concerned about facility conditions in their district seek to get to the bottom of conditions in these facilities? What should we be doing? And I know we're out of time, and I want everybody to get their questions answered. So I'm going to follow up with you, because this is too important for us to not dig deeper into. Thank you so much, Ranking Member.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. Now I recognize